Hello and welcome to the FS Mini Train. Today we continue our series on phishing, which you'll recall is when someone tries to scam you out of information or money by pretending to be someone you can trust. In our last session, we looked at some examples of phishing through email. Today we'll look at a few of the ways someone can try to phish you through your phone. Voice phishing, referred to as vishing, no, really, is when someone calls you or leaves you a voicemail claiming to be from a legitimate company in order to try to get you to give them personal information, like your credit card number. If you've ever been robocalled, you've probably been vished. The first thing to know about these calls is understanding what spoofing is. Spoofing means you can't always trust your caller ID. Scammers absolutely can make a phone call look like it's coming from one number while it's really coming from another. I used to get calls every day from people whose phone number shared the first 6 digits of my phone number. Somebody out there was using my phone number as the fake number and making calls to people with similar numbers who were then calling that number, me, back. This is called neighbor spoofing, and it's an attempt to trick you into thinking someone local is calling you. Public service announcement: if you get a call from an unknown number and they don't leave a message, don't call that number back. You'll just be calling the actual person with that number, the spoofee, and not the scammer, spoofer. And believe me, it's really annoying for the spoofee. These vishing calls come in a couple of different flavors. Sometimes it's a live person on the phone. If someone calls you out of the blue asking for money or personal information, they deserve to be hung up on. Except maybe your kids. Maybe. More common are those robocalls, which use a computerized autodialer to play or leave you a pre-recorded message. Like it's a robot calling you and 7,000 other people to try to get you to update your car warranty. Some robocalls are entirely legal. Information messages, like from a doctor's office to remind you of appointments, or political or charity calls. But if they're trying to sell you something, hang up. Don't push any numbers or try to get through a phone tree to be put on their non-existent do not call list. We'll talk more about why when we get into texts here in a minute. Stopping robocalls entirely is, at this point, nearly impossible, but you do have some options. You can certainly make sure your phone number is on the National Do Not Call Registry, but the registry is designed to stop calls from legitimate companies that follow the law. Scammers? Some of these people are on the National Do Not Call Registry. Should I take them off our list? Oh, right, yeah, okay. Your phone may have some settings that will help. Your phone service carrier may have some options. And of course, there are apps like NomoRobo or RoboKiller that can help you by stopping, silencing, or sending specified calls straight to voicemail. Here's the thing. Some of these options are free. Some of them might cost a couple dollars a month. It's up to you to figure out the best route for you. Texting. Texting is a form of short message service, SMS. So text phishing is actually called smishing. I am not making this up. Just like there are robocalls, robotexts are a thing too. I've received a couple of these lately. Also, there were some others. I had a few there. There were just a few. I mean, it's just like a few. Okay, no, that one too. Yeah. All right. So this one's telling me my credit score has been updated. This one says I won that $1,000 Walmart gift card. This one says I can look specifically 8 years younger. That one wants to help me get rid of my gut. Thanks for that. And this one helps to cure my unfortunate baldness. Robotexts are almost always trying to sell you something. And they'll usually provide a link they want you to follow. It may even have a little tag that reads, reply N to unsubscribe, just to look legitimate. If you never subscribed to this list in the first place, let's just do a quick callback to the last mini train and say, do not click on that. Just like you hang up on robocalls without pushing any numbers, you never click on a link in one of these robotexts. It will not take you to any trustworthy site, but rather a place where the scammer will try to get you to give up your personal information. Or it might just install some malware on your phone. And don't reply N to unsubscribe either. These are scammers. They're not going to honor your request. All you've effectively done is validated that you have an active phone number that someone actually pays attention to, and you'll start receiving even more calls or messages. Now, of course, if it is a text from a reputable company, for example, you just dropped a prescription off at the pharmacy and then receive a text letting you know it's ready. Those you can trust. And if you want to unsubscribe there, it's likely safe to do so. But for anything else, just ignore or delete it. You can report the spam messages by forwarding the message to 7726, which spells out spam on your keyboard, and this will help your carrier collect information about spam messages being sent with the aim of eventually eliminating them, but it won't necessarily stop them immediately. You can block numbers on your phone from being able to send you calls or messages, but remember spoofing? You likely aren't blocking the actual scammer, but just the spoofee. I blocked one of those robotext numbers only to receive the exact same robotext from a different number not 10 minutes later. Jerks. So if the SMS message wasn't expected and doesn't make sense, ignore or delete it. Just remember, people calling or texting you out of the blue and requesting personal information generally can't be trusted. Ignore it, hang up on it, and don't click on that. Next time on the mini train, we'll go over some general principles for keeping yourself safe from those illegally wanting to get your money. As always, you can contact the training unit at fstraining@utk.edu. Have a marvelous week.